I did not expect to like HairBrained as much as I did, but it turns out that it's actually really good. I think one of the main reasons why I did like it is because it deals with one of my favourite narrative tropes, and that's a child genius living in an adult world, I guess. This was released in 2013, directed by Billy Kent, and stars Alex Wolff as Eli Pettifog. And he is, to quote IMDb, a 14-year-old genius, is rejected from Harvard and ends up in an Ivy League wannabe, Whittman U. There, Eli meets 41-year-old Leo, a gambler who has dropped out of life to enroll in college, who teaches him every bad habit he knows. Pretty self-explanatory there. Eli could have gone to Harvard. He didn't. I feel like that's unrealistic. I feel like if there was a 14-year-old genius, Harvard would jump at them because the publicity would be amazing. I could be wrong. But he goes to Whitman U and he gets thrown into this adult world. But it's really interesting. As a character, he's really interesting because obviously he is a genius, and even at 14, he knows very much right from wrong. And he knows that if he were to follow in the footsteps of Leo, his life would be abysmal. And he's very well aware of this. But he still likes to kind of test the waters out and almost have fun with it and just let his hair down almost, but while still maintaining all of his core character qualities that make Pettifog who he is. There are some interesting events that happen. For the most part, it's just little things here and there. There's nothing really about the narrative that was that gripping or that compelling, but there are a few things that happen, such as the competition, which I won't say any more about, but I particularly enjoyed those scenes. In terms of every other character, I could take them or leave them, relatively well acted, reasonable casting, no issues. They're just not that exciting and largely not as well developed. In fact, none of them are as well developed as Pettifog. As far as protagonists go, he's really well rounded and really, really well done, and certainly the acting is very well delivered. I have no complaints about this film. I honestly thought it would be, based on the reviews, it's got 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which I think is a lot lower than I expected in hindsight. And I didn't look at any of the IMDb reviews before watching it, but you've obviously got the star ratings on the streaming sites. Can't remember if I watched this on Netflix or Prime. I believe it was Prime, but I could be wrong. And obviously the star ratings are visible there. It didn't seem to be that well received, but actually I really like it. The sets are amazing and the locations are beautiful, really autumnal a lot of the time, and just so gorgeous to look at that I really can't fault it. I really like the college campus setting. It just works really well. And as I said, Pettifog as a character is definitely the driving force here. The narrative, not so much, but I really like Pettifog. Very well developed character. If you think this sounds like your kind of film, absolutely give it a watch. It's not the most intricate film. It's certainly a good film to put on as background fluff if you need kind of a noise around you, which is kind of why I started watching it. But I did find that actually a lot of the time I was stopping what I was doing to pay full attention to it, which again is absolutely not what I was expecting. So I'm really, really pleasantly surprised by it. HairBrained didn't have that many expectations. So yes, it exceeded them all, but it did it pretty triumphantly.